I'm mostly impressed that this interview was all debt-free and totally pet-free as well, because I thought the dogs would invade.
What? Becoming pet-free during an interview is maybe just as hard as becoming debt-free. Welcome to another episode of Debt Free Stories, where we are sharing our listeners' debt payoff stories in hopes of inspiring you on your journey and celebrating our Frugal Friends' great accomplishments.
Yay! I'm Jill.
I'm Jen.
Doing it backwards.
We
Flipping
should,
the
yeah.
script.
We should introduce this.
And we're so excited to have a very special Frugal Friends listener and guest and story coming from Kait. Kait, welcome.
Yes, welcome.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
So, Kait, tell us a little bit about you, your family, where you're located. Who are you?
Okay, so my family is myself and my husband, Randy, and we've been married for 5 years. We live in Ontario, Canada, and you can't see out there, but there is snow. And we have 2 dogs, and we live in kind of a mid-sized city located between 2 major cities, between Ottawa and Toronto.
Nice. And what are the dogs' names?
The dogs' names are Buddy and Pippin is skulking in the hallway outside this room, so hopefully she's good.
Oh, that's awesome. So tell us a little bit about the debt. How much did you have? What was it?
Okay, so we paid off $62,000 in debt. $42,000 of that was student loans. My husband is a PhD student and like a full-time working data scientist. So student loans from his undergraduate, master's, and doctoral studies, as well as a $13,000 vehicle loan on our Jeep and a $7,000 credit card debt for a total of $62,000.
Got it. So how long did that take you to pay off?
We paid it off in 10 months.
Nice. And so did you use any lump sum savings or inheritance or sell anything to help you pay off that $62,000?
We did have savings that we used to pay towards it. We had about $30,000 in savings, so we had a $32,000 remaining debt after that initial bulk payoff. And there is kind of a chapter 2 to our story that involves an inheritance that I can tell you about after.
Ooh, okay. We like a part 2. So can we talk about the catalyst point for you, or the kind of aha moment, pivot point when you realized, oh, this is the amount of debt that we have and we're going to start paying it off starting now. What was that moment like for you?
You know, it wasn't a specific like crisis or emergency or event that kickstarted it. It was actually another podcast that I listened to talked about how the 2 hosts of that podcast had done the Dave Ramsey plan, and I had never heard of it. So I said, well, I kind of had just a nagging ongoing feeling of debt and financial disorganization. I said, well, if it worked for them, I guess I could Google it. And that kind of got me into personal finance. I had no interest. I probably had an aversion to personal finance before getting into the personal finance podcast world and finding you guys.
Oh, nice. Can you shout out that podcast that you're referencing?
Yeah.
Homemaker Chic. Shout out to Shay and Angela. Wonderful.
Homemaker Chic. Nice.
Cool.
Thanks for shouting that out.
Okay, so did you get the feeling that you were pursuing when you started on your debt payoff? Is what you feel now what you thought that you would get when you started this journey?
I don't think I had an idea of what it would feel like initially. I went in just completely with a lack of knowledge, and I just thought, well, maybe we live in a crazy, stressful world. Everyone does. Maybe not having debt in our life will alleviate some of the general stress, and it absolutely has. It lived up to that expectation, and it's kind of given me a hobby and a new thing to think about, which it's interesting, it's exciting, and now I enjoy thinking about it. And instead of a point of stress, it's a point of almost gamification and interest and strategy, which I enjoy.
That's awesome. Really cool to hear the way that you pivoted and kind of had a mindset shift of the way that you're looking at this and approaching it.
Yeah, super empowering.
Definitely. And thank you for saying it's empowering. I agree that learning about this is empowering, and finding the right vehicles for learning is great.
Cool. Okay, so you have any other debt besides the debt you paid off?
When we finished paying off the 62,000, we did have a remaining mortgage, and about 2 weeks after, this is the chapter 2, about 2 weeks after we finished paying off our debt, my grandmother passed away, and I learned that we would inherit some money as a result, and we used that money to finish paying off our mortgage. So now we're completely debt free.
Wow, I'm so sorry to hear about your grandmother. It sounds like you were able to honor her by using some of that money to experience more freedom.
Yeah.
How much was that mortgage that you paid off?
It was about $165,000 Canadian.
Kate, do you think you would have made the decision to use that inheritance to pay off your mortgage if you hadn't gone through this original debt-free journey?
No, I don't think so. I think I would have taken probably whatever my parents' advice would have been about what to do with the money, or parked it in a high yield savings account and done. I don't think I would have done anything destructive with it, but I don't think I would have done anything as meaningful with it either.
Yeah, definitely seeing a bigger benefit in paying off your mortgage than just keeping it in a savings account.
Yeah.
Now that you're debt free, how does it feel?
Yeah, 100% debt free.
Yeah,
so not just
no
consumer
mortgage.
debt free, 100% debt free.
Mostly surreal. We've only had one first of the month where the mortgage payment didn't leave our account, and it was nice, but I think with a few more of them we'll really feel the impact of that money that would be going out is now going into our retirement savings account, which is very exciting.
Woo.
So can we talk about income?
Mhm.
What was the total household income when you started paying off your debt versus when you finished? What did that look like?
Okay, this I did the exchange rate on. So it was 144,000 Canadian dollars between two income earners. My husband's a data scientist and I'm a registered nurse. And that works out to 107,000 US dollars at the current time of exchange in late November 2022.
Wow, okay, you did math. Thank you.
I did math.
Yeah, impressive.
Paper.
Okay, so now that you've got all debt out of the way,
Mhm.
including your mortgage, this is so amazing
Yeah.
to hear. What is your next financial goal? Where do you go from here?
Our next financial goal is really building towards retirement. We're hoping to retire earlier than average, but not a scorched earth fire retire at age 37 and all Tuesdays style. And enjoying some home improvements and eventually enjoying some travel. I'm not a traveler. My husband's traveled much more extensively, so he's hoping to show me some of the world.
Scorched earth.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yay. Oh, I'm so excited for you. All right. So if somebody wants to be where you are right now, they want to have these dreams of traveling and just living with peace. What would you say to somebody who wants this, who's where you were a year ago before you started this debt payoff journey?
I would say to them, it is okay not to be knowledgeable. It is okay not to feel like I don't know anything about personal finance. It scares me. It makes me feel vaguely nauseated. It is okay to feel that way because there are a lot of ways to learn about personal finance, and it's not all textbooks. There's a lot of really, dynamic people on the internet and in the world, like you and Jill and Dave Ramsey, who you can learn from, and you can find someone who will resonate with you personally and who will give you a teaching style that doesn't make you feel more stressed. That will be empowering. Can I read my list?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Please do.
Okay. Excellent. I think if you are married, for us, doing completely joint banking was extremely helpful. We made that change right at the beginning of our debt payoff experience, and for me, I felt like having more extrinsic accountability to my spouse in terms of our money would be a lot easier. And in terms of logistics and organization and budgeting and transactions, it is so much simpler. If you're running a household together, to run a bank account together is so much easier. What else? Small amounts of fun money budgets are great, especially if you're a spender. Even having like $100 a month, just to spend the way you want to spend it without guilt was really important for me, even during debt payoff. Buy a modest house. It's okay not to have a 2,400 square foot, 4-bedroom, beige painted McMansion. It's okay to live in a little house.
Yes.
Yes.
I couldn't agree more. Tiny house, tiny living,
Or
enjoyment
even
of life.
average, moderate, like not like McMansion-y
Yeah.
lifestyle. Yes.
Yeah, just the permission that you're giving.
Yes.
Totally agree.
Yes.
May I add the last one from my husband?
Like, yes, absolutely.
I asked him, I said, Randy, I'm doing this podcast interview. What can I say? And he said, if you like to drink craft beer, drink your beer at home.
Yes, Randy.
Yes.
And thanks for sharing your tip, Kate, from your husband. That's a great tip. You don't have to be out to enjoy beer. You can
Yes.
enjoy beer at home and still drink it. Like,
Yeah.
still have that play money, still do the things that you enjoy. Do it in a more frugal way.
Yeah, you don't have to give up the good stuff. You just get creative in how you get it, how you consume it. I love that.
Definitely, because it is expensive. It is expensive to drink beer in this country.
Enjoy your craft beer at home. I mean, it's expensive here too.
Yeah.
It's so expensive.
Yeah.
It's like $8 or $9 a pint at a restaurant to go out for a beer in Canada.
Pizza, wings, beer, it's all become
I know.
luxury items.
You can't have the beer without the pizza and the wings.
No.
You literally are not allowed to order it without.
But you should do it at home with friends.
Yeah. All right. So we have come to the point in the episode where we want to invite you, Kate, to celebrate this huge accomplishment that you have made, paying off $62,000 of debt. We've got student loan, car loan, credit card in 9 months, and then being able to use the inheritance that your grandmother gifted you for something really wise and something that would take a mental energy burden off of you and really steward it well. So we want you to celebrate that huge accomplishment in whatever way you want. So it is your time. How would you like to celebrate with us today?
I think I just want to celebrate by like passing on the good word that anyone else can do this, and you don't have to be a dual income full-time, both working full-time family, and just it's okay to be a pet owner, and it's okay to have hobbies, and it's okay not to know a ton. I just want to be encouraging and to pass along the encouragement that I don't think I had from peers. And it's okay to talk about your money with your friends too. You can make friends who are interested in money. It's all right. It doesn't need to be pushed under the rug.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. I love that your celebration is to encourage others and pass it forward and say the things to others that you didn't hear yourself, and such permission giving and freedom giving. What a beautiful way to celebrate.
Yes. Thank you so much for that. Thank you for sharing your story. Your words of wisdom, I know, will be inspiring to people. And yeah, whether they're in school or you're a nurse or whatever, you have dogs.
You live in Canada where beer is super expensive.
Yeah, I know that people will find your story inspiring. And so I'm just so glad we were able to share it and celebrate you.
Thank you so much. I'm mostly impressed that this interview was all debt-free and totally pet-free as well, because I thought the dogs would invade.
What? Becoming pet-free during an interview is maybe just as hard as becoming debt-free.
I don't think that Kate became pet-free during the interview.
I hope she didn't. Her interview was pet-free.
But she didn't become pet-free.
Just
got
during the interview.
Great dogs that she loves having in this debt payoff
and
journey.
they are still here and worth it.
She's debt-free, not pet-free.
And you don't have to be debt-free to be debt-free. You can still have a dog.
Oh, Kate. That was so great. I'm so glad to have talked with you and share this story. Just the way that she encouraged was so beautiful.
Thanks for having me.
if any of you who are watching, listening, however you're kind of engaging in this, if you want to share your debt-free story, if this is like, oh, I've got one of these and I want to talk and I want to be filmed on camera, check out the link and you can apply to be interviewed by us.
And if you liked this story, please subscribe to the Frugal Friends YouTube channel and hit the notifications button so you can see whenever we post a new debt-free story. There are many of them. And head over to your nearest podcast player, which is hopefully on whatever device you're watching this, and subscribe to the Frugal Friends podcast because we've got 2 episodes a week full of inspiration and strategy to help you pay off your debt and reach your financial goals faster. And head to the description for the link to participate in our next round of debt-free stories.
Debt-free, not pet-free. Debt-free, not pet-free. Debt-free, not pet-free.